Welcome. Today we're diving into the world of peer assessment and feedback in higher education. As universities seek to develop critical thinking and collaboration, peer assessment has become a powerful tool. It's not just about grading each other's work, it's about learning from one another, gaining new perspectives, and building essential skills for the future. In this video, we'll explore what peer assessment is, why it matters, and how it can transform the learning experience for students everywhere. Let's get started by understanding the basics and setting the stage for a deeper exploration. Peer assessment is a process where students evaluate each other's work, providing constructive feedback and sometimes even assigning grades. This approach shifts some responsibility from instructors to students, encouraging active participation and self-reflection. By engaging in peer assessment, students learn to critique thoughtfully and accept feedback with an open mind. It's a dynamic process that helps everyone grow, both academically and personally. Let's look at how this process works in practice and why it's gaining popularity in higher education settings. Feedback is at the heart of effective learning. When students receive feedback from their peers, it often feels more relatable and immediate. Peer feedback can highlight strengths, point out areas for improvement, and offer new ideas that might not come from instructors alone. This exchange fosters a supportive learning environment where everyone is invested in each other's success. As we move forward, we'll see how feedback, when delivered thoughtfully, can be a catalyst for growth and deeper understanding. Peer assessment offers a range of benefits for students. It helps develop critical thinking, communication, and analytical skills. By evaluating others' work, students learn to identify quality and understand assessment criteria more deeply. Giving and receiving feedback also builds confidence and fosters a sense of responsibility. These skills are not only valuable in academic settings but are essential for future careers. Let's explore some real-life examples of how students have benefited from peer assessment in their courses. While peer assessment has many advantages, it's not without challenges. Some students may feel uncomfortable critiquing their peers or worry about fairness in grading. Others might not take the process seriously, leading to superficial feedback. Addressing these challenges requires clear guidelines, training, and a supportive classroom culture. Instructors play a crucial role in setting expectations and ensuring that peer assessment is both meaningful and constructive. Let's discuss some strategies to overcome these obstacles. Instructors are key to successful peer assessment. They design the process, provide training, and monitor interactions to ensure fairness and quality. By modeling effective feedback and setting clear criteria, instructors help students understand what's expected. They also step in when issues arise, offering guidance and support. This balance between student autonomy and instructor oversight is essential for creating a positive peer assessment experience. Peer assessment can take many forms. It might involve written feedback on essays, group project evaluations, or even peer grading of presentations. Some courses use anonymous reviews to reduce bias, while others encourage open discussion. The format depends on the learning goals and the nature of the assignment. By choosing the right approach, instructors can maximize the benefits of peer assessment for their students. One important consideration is whether feedback should be anonymous or open. Anonymous feedback can encourage honesty and reduce personal bias, but it may also feel less personal. Open feedback, on the other hand, fosters accountability and dialogue but might make some students hesitant to be critical. Both approaches have their place, and the choice often depends on the classroom culture and the goals of the assessment. Clear rubrics and assessment criteria are essential for effective peer assessment. Rubrics provide a structured way for students to evaluate work, ensuring consistency and fairness. When students understand what's expected, they can give more meaningful feedback and feel more confident in their evaluations. Instructors should involve students in developing rubrics when possible, making the process more transparent and collaborative. Not all students naturally know how to give constructive feedback. Training sessions can help students learn how to critique respectfully, focus on improvement, and avoid personal comments. Role-playing, sample feedback, and guided discussions are effective ways to build these skills. With proper training, students become more comfortable and confident in the peer assessment process. Trust is a cornerstone of successful peer assessment. Students need to feel safe sharing their work and confident that feedback will be respectful and helpful. Instructors can foster trust by creating a supportive classroom environment, encouraging open communication, and addressing concerns promptly. When trust is established, students are more likely to engage fully and benefit from the process. Group projects are a common setting for peer assessment. Students evaluate each other's contributions, helping to ensure that everyone participates and shares responsibility. This process can highlight teamwork strengths and identify areas for improvement. It also prepares students for collaborative work in their future careers. Let's look at how peer assessment can enhance group dynamics and learning outcomes. Peer grading is when students assign grades to each other's work. This can be motivating and help students understand assessment standards. However, it also raises concerns about fairness and consistency. Instructors often moderate grades or use peer grading as one component of the overall assessment. Balancing these factors is key to making peer grading effective and equitable. Technology has made peer assessment easier and more accessible. Online platforms allow students to submit work, give feedback, and track progress efficiently. These tools can automate parts of the process, provide anonymity, and facilitate large-scale peer assessment in big classes. As technology evolves, it continues to open new possibilities for collaborative learning and feedback. Peer assessment encourages students to reflect on their own work as well as others. By seeing how peers approach assignments, students can identify their own strengths and areas for growth. Self-reflection is a vital skill for lifelong learning, helping students become more independent and effective learners. Let's see how peer assessment nurtures this important habit. Giving and receiving feedback requires clear communication. Peer assessment helps students practice expressing their ideas, listening to others, and responding constructively. These communication skills are essential not only in academic settings but also in the workplace and everyday life. Through regular practice, students become more articulate and confident communicators. Peer assessment challenges students to think critically about what makes work effective. By analyzing peers' assignments, students learn to identify strong arguments, logical structure, and evidence. This process sharpens their analytical skills and helps them apply these insights to their own work. Critical thinking is a cornerstone of higher education, and peer assessment is a practical way to develop it. When students participate in peer assessment, they take on new responsibilities. They must approach the task thoughtfully, respect deadlines, and consider the impact of their feedback. This sense of responsibility extends beyond the classroom, preparing students for professional and personal challenges. Let's explore how peer assessment cultivates accountability and maturity. Bias can be a concern in peer assessment. Students may be influenced by friendships, rivalries, or unconscious preferences. To minimize bias, instructors can use anonymous reviews, clear rubrics, and multiple assessors. Regular training and reflection also help students recognize and address their own biases, making the process fairer for everyone. In large university classes, peer assessment can be especially valuable. It allows for more feedback than instructors alone could provide and helps students connect with classmates. Technology can streamline the process, making it manageable even with hundreds of students. With the right structure, peer assessment can enhance learning on a large scale. Online courses often use peer assessment to foster interaction and engagement. Digital platforms make it easy for students to share work, give feedback, and collaborate across distances. This approach helps build a sense of community even when students are not physically together. Let's see how peer assessment supports online learning environments. Cultural backgrounds can influence how students approach peer assessment. In some cultures, direct criticism may be discouraged, while in others, open feedback is valued. Instructors should be aware of these differences and create an environment where all students feel comfortable participating. Sensitivity to cultural norms helps ensure that peer assessment is inclusive and effective. Academic integrity is crucial in peer assessment. Students must be honest and objective, avoiding plagiarism or collusion. Instructors can reinforce these values by setting clear expectations and monitoring the process. When students understand the importance of integrity, peer assessment becomes a trustworthy and valuable part of their education. Peer assessment isn't limited to essays or presentations. In STEM fields, students might review lab reports, code, or project designs. This process helps them learn to evaluate technical work and communicate complex ideas. Peer assessment in STEM encourages collaboration and prepares students for real-world problem solving. In the arts, peer assessment can involve critiquing performances, artworks, or creative writing. Students learn to give and receive feedback on subjective work, developing their artistic voice and critical eye. This process builds a supportive community where creativity and growth are encouraged. Social science courses often use peer assessment for essays, debates, and group projects. Students analyze arguments, assess evidence, and provide feedback on communication skills. This approach deepens understanding of complex issues and encourages thoughtful discussion among peers. Language courses use peer assessment for speaking, writing, and listening exercises. Students practice giving feedback on grammar, pronunciation, and clarity. This process helps learners improve their language skills and gain confidence in real-world communication. In business courses, peer assessment is used for case studies, presentations, and group projects. Students evaluate teamwork, leadership, and problem-solving skills. This approach prepares them for the collaborative and evaluative nature of the business world. Health science students use peer assessment to review clinical skills, patient communication, and teamwork. This process helps them develop professional competencies and prepare for real-life healthcare settings. Peer feedback is especially valuable in building confidence and competence. Engineering courses often use peer assessment for design projects and technical reports. Students evaluate problem-solving approaches, technical accuracy, and teamwork. This process mirrors real-world engineering practices and helps students prepare for professional roles. Law students participate in peer assessment through moot courts, case analyses, and written briefs. They critique legal arguments, clarity, and research skills. This process sharpens their analytical abilities and prepares them for the demands of legal practice. Future teachers use peer assessment to review lesson plans, teaching demonstrations, and classroom management strategies. This process helps them develop reflective practice and learn from their peers' experiences. Peer feedback is an essential part of becoming an effective educator. Peer assessment can boost motivation by making students feel more involved in the learning process. When students know their work will be reviewed by peers, they often strive for higher quality. Positive feedback from classmates can also increase confidence and engagement. The skills developed through peer assessment, critical thinking, communication, and self-reflection, are essential for lifelong learning. Students who engage in peer assessment are better prepared to learn independently and adapt to new challenges throughout their lives. Some students may resist peer assessment, fearing criticism or doubting its value. Instructors can address these concerns by explaining the benefits, providing training, and creating a positive environment. Over time, most students come to appreciate the value of peer feedback. It's important to evaluate how well peer assessment is working. Instructors can gather feedback from students, review the quality of peer evaluations, and adjust the process as needed. Continuous improvement ensures that peer assessment remains a valuable part of the learning experience. Let's look at a case study where peer assessment transformed a university course. In a writing class, students provided detailed feedback on each other's essays. Over time, the quality of writing improved and students reported feeling more confident and engaged. This example shows how peer assessment can lead to real, measurable benefits. In another course, students initially struggled with giving honest feedback. With training and support, they learned to provide constructive criticism and appreciate diverse perspectives. By the end of the semester, peer assessment had become a valued part of the class culture. Peer assessment is evolving with new technologies and teaching methods. Artificial intelligence, adaptive learning platforms, and data analytics are making feedback more personalized and effective. As these tools develop, peer assessment will continue to play a vital role in higher education. For peer assessment to succeed, it's important to set clear expectations, provide training, and create a supportive environment. Encourage students to be honest, respectful, and focused on improvement. Regular check-ins and feedback help keep the process on track and ensure everyone benefits. Some common mistakes in peer assessment include unclear criteria, lack of training, and insufficient oversight. Avoiding these pitfalls requires careful planning and ongoing support from instructors. By addressing these issues early, peer assessment can be a positive and productive experience for all. Students often have valuable insights into the peer assessment process. Many appreciate the opportunity to learn from classmates and value the diverse feedback they receive. Listening to student perspectives helps instructors refine the process and make it more effective. Instructors also benefit from peer assessment. It allows them to focus on higher-level feedback and observe how students engage with course material. Many instructors find that peer assessment leads to deeper learning and more active participation in class. The skills gained through peer assessment extend beyond university. In the workplace, professionals regularly give and receive feedback, collaborate on projects, and evaluate performance. By practicing these skills in college, students are better prepared for success in their future careers. Sum up, peer assessment and feedback are powerful tools in higher education. They foster critical thinking, communication, and collaboration, preparing students for lifelong learning and professional success. While challenges exist, thoughtful planning and support can make peer assessment a rewarding experience for everyone involved. Thanks for joining us on this journey through peer assessment in higher education.